This is James Mathers at NAB 2018 for the Digital Cinema Society and New Bay Media. I'm here with Bill Roberts at the Adobe booth, and he's going to tell us about what's new with Adobe, Premiere, VR. You got a lot of new stuff.
Sure, it's a big release across the board for all the products, but if we start with Premiere, one of the biggest things I think about it is our continued to focus on color and light and making it easy for more people to get to great results. So one of the big features we've added this year is shot matching. So one of the challenges we have is if you have a range of different cameras, all with a different dynamic range, and you're trying to bring them together, it can be really difficult. Particularly if you're actually on a low budget and you're trying to shoot, say, an interview with somebody and you want to get some coverage. You might have, one decent camera, but maybe you got your iPhone, whatever you got around there. They're not going to match automatically. So we've got a great new algorithm that's driven by our Sensei machine learning that allows you to select the shot that looks good and actually just allow the next one to match into it. And one of the beautiful things about it, it is full AI in the sense that it understands the face, and if there's a face present in the scene, it will strive for continuity of skin tone, which is a big, big, big plus. So this is all part of our drive to make all of this work with color and light much, much, much more simple. So that one goes down well, and it also introduces a new view, which is side by side, which is also another amazing view as you're working through refining your sequence. Anything can be on either side. It doesn't have to be a before and after for color correction. It can be any element presented to you. So that's one of the sleeper features. We did it for color, but everybody's loving it for everything else, which is always a win. Another thing we've done is, if we think about the trends in this industry, it's about speed, speed, speed. A lot of the time we're trying to do more promotions, get more content out as we're serving not just the on-air television network, but we're also serving the web. So one of the features that we pioneered in Audition is auto-ducking. Again, it's one of our Sensei AI machine learning algorithms. So if you think about, you're trying to get a story done quick, you lay out all your clips, you have some background sound, you have some music in there, and then you got to mix the whole thing. And mixing is usually slower than real time. We've made it so long as your tracks have a type, say voiceover, background, or music, with one click of a button, you can ride the audio through the whole thing, automated. Now, for some people, if you're in a rush, great, good to go. If you've got more creative time, it gives you a great new starting point to take your creativity further. Each product is strong on its own, but much stronger when it's used together. A great example of that technology is motion graphics templates. So if you look at After Effects, most editors start to weep if you say, please sit down at After Effects and adjust this parameter. We introduced motion graphics templates, which is all the complexity of an After Effects comp reduced into a single file that you can move around or put in our shared libraries. But it has all the complexity, and all the editor has to deal with is a couple of text fields. And we've also extended that out to our stock offerings as well. So if you're an independent producer trying to get started and you want something that looks like a Hollywood title or opening, we have all those available for you in stock. We've actually made it much, much, much easier to get to those and use them in the timeline and understand what they're going to look like. So that's a huge plus. Other things in that area of making stuff work well together, I focused a little bit at the beginning on that audio, that being able to do that auto ducking. That's the essential sound panel, and that's making audio quick and simple for an editor. But a lot of the time you want to go further and you want to get into spectral noise reduction, all the things we have in Audition. So one of the features that's been greeted really well here is the ability to take a Premiere Pro sequence as is and open it in Audition. Just bang, you open it, no translation. It's exactly that sequence. That allows you to start moving a lot faster. The other things you have inside of that is you've got some new capabilities when you're working on picture for sound. So clip spotting is another great feature. If you've got a sound effect of something happening, you're dragging that through the timeline, your video playback is going to sync up for you, you drop it, it's going to be in exactly the right spot. So we're really trying to concentrate on these things that are natural evolutions. You're working in one product, you want to go to the next one. I'm going to jump back to Premiere. So one of the trends that we see every year growing bit by bit is VR, AR, this whole space. So we've got a great position in that. We've added a whole range of different tools inside of that. One of the big announcements we have here is our Adobe Immersive Environment, which allows you to pull on your headset. So after you've got your timeline laid out, you can pull your headset on and interact with it. Not only have we added more features for the Premiere users who've been working with it, but we've also made it available to After Effects. So that whole workflow between the two products is extremely important, and After Effects is kind of the go-to place if you have any VFX work to do in your VR 360 content. Also, along with that, we're actually pushing the boundaries. So if we think about VR 360, one of the next level things we start to talk about is 6 degrees of freedom, or 6DoF. We did a great sneak of this at MAX back in the fall, and we're excited that we have in full public beta right now a collection of 7 new 6DoF plugins that you can add in to this current release to experiment with dealing with the first inklings of depth inside of that VR experience. So really pushing forward on that front as well. So it's a huge release. We've also updated Character Animator. After Effects is going way faster, more GPU effects inside of that, more features in After Effects for really experienced users. Master Properties is a great feature that allows nested comps to up-level things that may be 1,000 layers down in the comp. People are loving that. So just across the board, it's been pretty amazing. And all of the major products connect into team projects. So cloud collaboration at the core of this. So
well, I don't have to ask when that will be ready, because DCS is already doing all our editing and we're already using those features.
And that's exactly what we wanted to do. Is we started this is actually something we started as a vision prior to even the acquisition of Iridas and the SpeedGrade product. We've been working on this for years. We really do feel that color and light are essential to storytelling in this day and age. And it's come to be true. When we started on this journey, HDR wasn't a reality. We didn't have all these cameras that had all this extensive dynamic range, but today we do. And people want to work with color and light as a creative element. And one of the challenges we saw is the dedicated professional interfaces. It was so easy to go off track. Your first touch with color grading was disappointing. But if you look at the way we've constructed the Lumetri color tools, they're progressively disclosing complexity, but you can always get to something that's going to make you feel good about what you've done, and in most cases get you close to your intention, which is really what we're striving to do. So that is something we think is absolutely essential. Color and light, something you adjust all the time as you're crafting your story, not something that goes off to somebody else at the end.
Well, you guys pretty much invented the post-production subscription service. How's Creative Cloud going?
Yeah, it is. It's one of the amazing things as a company, the number of subscribers we had far surpassed what we had under the previous model. So I think the original corporate hypothesis is that if we can change the way that people buy the software, we can actually activate more people. And that's great for us. One of the things that we're seeing is it's a very broad ecosystem that Adobe services. We service digital imaging and photography, we service web and design. And one of the hottest trends we see right now is people from other disciplines coming to video. Video is becoming the lingua franca of our age, so more and more people want to tell their stories with that. So we see designers taking their skills, which used to be on a still frame, and now having the element of time. So they're coming into After Effects. And overall, we're just seeing more and more people wanting to edit. So it's a golden age of video in some ways. Not only are the highest end dramatic productions at an all-time high, we're also seeing video just become the communications medium of the day.
It allows you to make updates constantly and easily.
Well, the model, yeah, fantastic. That's absolutely great. So for us, one of the things we've really enjoyed is we can do tentpole releases at NAB and at IBC. But in this industry, I think just while we're talking, 4 new camera formats and 3 new media formats have been born, because that's what NAB is all about. But that's the pace of innovation that's happening right now. So with the Creative Cloud model, we can update at any time. So we're constantly working on things like new codecs, new camera support. The moment it's ready, we can drop it out to customers. So that works out really well for us.
Thank you so much, Bill.
My pleasure, thank you.
Seemed great.